Mm.
All right, we are live. What's up, Spring?
What's up? How are you?
Good. Sorry, everyone, for the delay. We are running, gunning over here, but got some stuff we are super excited to share with everyone today. So thanks for joining. And Spring, what's new?
Everything is new. This market, Sisu Coaching, just life is freaking awesome.
So I think a lot of you might have seen, and I guess before we really jump into things, just little housekeeping here. This is being recorded. We will send out a recording afterwards. If you're interested in learning more about Sisu Coaching, my team will put some links into the chat, so you can either sign up, or if you want to talk to somebody and just get a little more details. We're going to be going pretty in depth in this webinar, so hopefully we can get you those details here. And if you're interested, you'll know what your decision is. But we have team members that can really talk it through with you, talk through pricing. We have some bundling options, so a lot we can talk about. But I just kind of wanted to start setting the table here, and what is Sisu Coaching? Why did we start Sisu Coaching? I mean, Spring, when I think of people who have invested in themselves and maybe overinvested, right? You've done a lot of coaching, right? And I would just love for you to share your mindset on, I think you posted the other day, you have 5 coaches, which is awesome, but maybe you can just share a little bit of your mindset behind coaching in general.
Yeah. So Damon John actually said this at Zillow. And I just resonated with it at such a high level. He said, there's 2 ways to learn. You either fail or you find a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And I've taken that to heart. So probably about 5 years ago, I went to a Tony Robbins event, and he had mentioned basically, like, somebody has done what you want to do, where you want to go already. So why reinvent the wheel? Why not go coach or mentor under somebody who has what you want and circumvent that process? And so I have taken that to heart. And so I use that in all aspects of my life. So in terms of that many coaches, well, it's because I am coaching with John Cheplack right now. Well, it's because he is awesome at heavy hitters and producers, and I want to be in that proximity and also know what other people are doing. Brett Tanner for wealth. I want to create massive wealth. So he's one of the best. I have somebody for fitness, somebody for NLP. So I am heavily coached. I'm a believer in it, and it's helped our business. We've gone from 300 transactions in starting in 2020 to we're on pace to do about 700 this year. And it's just from taking what other people are doing and implementing. And so I'm a believer in it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I know Brian is heavily coached as well. When he started with your team, the whole idea for Sisu came out of some coaching as well. So it's just something that's embedded and ingrained in our culture, right?
Yeah.
And just to kind of clarify, I mean, there's some questions on the chat, like, is this for me? Is it not? Sisu coaching is to skip the learning curve with Sisu and learn from Spring and Justin, who have done I mean, you've been at this for 5 years, learning how to implement Sisu and how to best use this report and that report, and how to drive your one-on-ones with it, how to do your coaching, and how to recruit, and how to, like, everything that Sisu is as a way to run business. You guys have been doing that for 5 years. So you get people who are just barely starting with Sisu. And I look at all the things that we've worked with you guys and your team going back 5 years. And it's like, man, if people can skip that learning curve, they're going to be so much more powerful with the system. And I mean, you didn't just pick up Sisu one day and it was like, oh, perfect. Like I know everything in the system. It was a process, and also like a cultural shift, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So there's 2 sides of it. So there's the Sisu component of it for you as a leader,
Yep.
and really understanding how to use it in your world. So Sisu coaching, what it if you're a leader, if you're a team owner, what we've done is we've taken our coaching and we've partnered with Sisu and said, what does it take to grow and scale your team? And we use Sisu in the heart of it, but it's not just Sisu, just so you guys know. So
Yep.
it's like Sisu for recruiting and for tracking your ROI and how we use it in our business. But it's everything from how we use Sisu for our agent attraction, how we automate it for our onboarding process, what we're doing for agent attraction. So we share like our scripts down to our software from our CRM, how it goes into Sisu. And then it's everything from the metrics, how we use Sisu for our ISA department, but we're also sharing what our ISA department's doing. So how we have our back end set up, just absolutely everything. And then also how we run our team with accountability on it too. So for you as a leader, it's all those back ends of like how we're running our team. Everybody does it completely different, but how we're utilizing Sisu for it. And then we also added in agent coaching, because one of the number one things we saw is people are like, dang, that's great, but Spring, I don't have a Justin. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And it's just because Justin has like such great, crazy, awesome energy. And he's also a trained professional speaker and coach. So he just has this force, but he also can come off, and he's on here now.
What's up, Justin?
What up?
What's up? We had a lot of technical difficulty. Sarah from operations round down. We got something.
Hey, but you're looking good. And good to have you here. Let's go.
I'm happy to be here.
I was like, he's struggling with this. But anyway, so what it also then was like, people were like, I don't have a Justin Spring. And I was like, well, what if we added into the Sisu coaching, what we're calling Justin time, of now him working with your agents, of them diving into their business as well using Sisu. So I'm super proud of it. Like, I'm just like, this is a no freaking brainer of what you guys have created or what we've created together, but it's cool. So I'll turn over to you and Justin, because he's the real deal here.
Two things. This is you nailed it, Spring. Why are we offering this? Why are we rolling it out? It does not replace like your current coaches. Like, no. It doesn't replace your one-on-one coach. But I've been working with Sisu for 5 years, and for 5 years I have gotten the same questions over and over. The first one is, hey, Zac, I know how to click all the buttons in Sisu, but like, how do I like use Sisu? How do I embed it in my culture? How do I make it a part of how we operate and how we do? That's the leadership coaching, because Sisu is so much more than a system. It's a way of operating, and it's a way of running your business. And that's what the leadership coaching shows you in practice with Spring's team. You see how they operate with Sisu at the heart of it. Second thing, Zac, I love Sisu. This is the coolest thing. I know this is how I should run my business, right? How do I get my agents to use it? How do I get them to buy in? And honestly, the answer to that is, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of fire. It takes a lot of motivation. And Justin is the king of that, right? And so that's the agent side of this, is literally like, I don't want to have to be the cheerleader for my agents. Okay, great. We've got 2 weekly coachings, and we'll go into what it looks like. It's the coolest program ever, but your agents jump on. And it really helps solve that problem. So that's what we want to dive into today, is really just breaking down the two parts. And I actually have the actual coaching, the login pulled up. We can jump in, we can look at it. But before that, Spring, I just kind of wanted, if you're okay with it, just pull up and show what you guys are doing, so that we have some like some credibility here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're more than welcome. I feel like my Sisu is your demo account anyway. So everybody out there knows what's going on in my business. And I told Zac, I was like, I'm cool. And just so you know, this month is just like a realtor. We're struggling sometimes. So what it is, but.
So check, this is closed and forecasted volume here. And you can see, if we like hide the goals here, just start with 2020. Right. And Spring's using Sisu. I remember 2 years before, like 2018, 2019, when it was like 5 agents. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, they went from 100 to 200 transactions or whatever. Right. Yeah. And so you can see how much this has grown, 2020 to 2021 to 2022. Right. And you guys, one thing I love about your business, I know it's tough right now, but historically, like, look at 2021, like your Q4 was just baller. So pretty cool stuff.
We're committed. I mean, it is like how we're hedging, and this is what we're teaching in the coaching too, is how we're hedging against what's happening is we're cutting expenses, which we walk through how we're doing that and what we're doing. And also then we're also bringing on agents. whole thing is you've got to have agents to be able to have the transactions. And so we teach in our coaching exactly what we're doing to bring on the agents, from systems to scripts to our strategy sessions to how we bring them in for team meeting, all of that. And then how we automate and use like I said, the back end of Sisu to do all of that.
Yeah. So, and then there's the agent side too, right? Which is you guys are knocking on 80 agents now. So that's pretty cool. Am I getting that right?
Somewhere Justin would know that number, but
we're at 72 agents.
72. Justin knows it like the back of his hand. That's
well, that is the metric he reports out every day of how many recruiting appointments and all that jazz. So yes.
Cool. So that's why we chose to pair with you. We chose to pair with you because you know Sisu inside and out and you use it to the nines. So I want to jump into kind of the two elements of this, and we've touched on the leadership coaching a little bit, but Justin, let's talk agent coaching. Like why would I want, if I'm a team owner, a broker, why would I want to put my agents into this program? Why is it transformational? What's your approach to helping these agents run their business and run it through Sisu?
The reason, from a very personal standpoint, because I know there's a lot of leaders on this phone call right now, what Sisu is at its core is a leadership program. It allows me to run a very, very profitable team of 72 people and still love my life. And there's no way that I could do that without Sisu. And I get that there is a flaw with Sisu. And the flaw with Sisu is we're not using it 100%. But when you hit that tipping point, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it's going to take 90 days straight of a full commitment from leadership, from the agents. And if you do that, your life, your profit, your everything about your business will shift to profitability and meaning. Because we all know this, 96% of all businesses that start fail. 4% make it. And I guarantee those 96% had a great product, a great idea, great work ethic, but they didn't know their numbers, they didn't know their data, and they had no idea how to scale their business. So from a very personal standpoint of a team leader, coming from a background of a salesperson, a presenter, a trainer, a performer, it actually allows me to run a very profitable team that has a powerful culture. And the way we've set up this program is in the exact sequence that you need to get your agents to fully buy into Sisu, but also for you, the leader, to fully buy into Sisu. So we're going to go strong on the leadership component. You will build a leadership program and get very clear on what the bottleneck is on your company. It's you. You will fully build out a recruiting company because your real estate company does not exist without a recruiting company. We'll show you exactly how we leverage virtual assistants so that we are not in this for ego or agent count. The only reason we are in this business is for profitability. And if you don't have a dialed in virtual assistant department, then profit is going to be scarce moving forward in this current market. Also, we're going to show you how to build a culture of production for your agents to fully buy into team meetings, to morning huddles, to Zooms, to communication on Slack or whatever you use. We'll dive into operations, meetings, metrics, ISAs, integration, transaction coordination. This is a very much a turnkey program where Spring and I have made all the mistakes. And now we're on the other side where the sky is the limit. We are at economies of scale. So we're going to show you how to build this foundation through Sisu. The second component really is the Q&A, where we wanted to add this because Spring has 6 or 7 coaches right now. I have 5 coaches. And the most powerful part about having a coach is having access, being able to bounce ideas off back and forth. What's the ROI? What's the challenge? How long? What are the mistakes that I'm about to make? And so on a weekly basis, you'll have full access to Spring and I, where we will give you very direct answers on how to pivot, how to move forward, how to use that, what the ROI is, what the risks are. So just that call alone is worth the money, period. And by the way, you have access to all of our onboarding and our checklists and our syntax of all of our meetings. I'm guessing, I don't know what the number would be, but to put all of that together over the last few years, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
of mistakes, of time, of energy, and we're giving you the finished product.
So Justin, I think the question though is like, if you're an agent, like, or why would you want to have your agents on the call? So like what is an agent like benefit from meeting with you and seeing it? Cause I see it on a daily, like, and it's so fun to look on the Facebook pages and people are like posting what they're doing and like their metrics. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Right. So I think that like more in terms of, what is it like for an agent to be in your coaching? What does that really look like?
So, and then
I do love Justin. Sorry.
No, you're great. Go.
There's a reason that it's leadership and agent coaching, right?
Yeah.
Because it's both sides of the equation, right? But yes, I mean, I'm like dying to like share this Facebook group because it's so cool right now, but let's do this first.
So the third component really is just in time. And we're seeing this from a very clear standpoint of performance, production, and profit. So there will be script and role play. There will be an element of listing consultation and buyer consultation. But at the heart of this, it is, what does it really take to be a great salesperson? It'll be about emotional state, focus, calendar, Sisu, living in your database, clear goals and objectives, keeping your word, accountability. We just took the steadfast principles of sales that is helping our agents, going to close 750 deals this year. And we're bringing it to you because we've mastered it. I've spent the last 15 years of my life dedicated to performance and sales, and I'm good at what I do. We've only done 3 of these, and the feedback has been off the charts as far as like, wow, I'm clear on my next 90 days. I know what I'm doing today. My calendar is dialed in. I know what I need to do in the morning to prime, to feel good, and to perform. And we're really giving you the coaching of what it takes for an agent to thrive, no matter what the market is doing.
And just so you guys are aware, Justin spoke on the road for I don't know how many years, 300 days a year as part of the Tony Robbins organization, speaking. If there's one thing I can guarantee you on these calls, they will not be boring. They will be very intense, and it's going to be transformational for your agents, right?
Can I say something, Jeff?
Go ahead,
from a team owner. So you guys, like, I'm a team owner. I've paid for a lot of coaching. I've paid for a lot of group calls. I've paid for all of that jazz. And I was telling the team yesterday, I'm like, the one thing about what we've created is I'm really proud of it, but it comes from a place of Justin is truly somebody who comes prepared. How many of you guys have signed up for that coaching and you're like, okay, well, that was a waste, or this person just showed up to the call because they had to. Like, Justin put so much pride in who he is and is a trained presenter that like every single call is top notch. Like, I was looking at the first one, he was there being the MC for an event we were at, and he chose a place in the hotel that he could stand, be loud, like great backdrop. And I'm just saying, like, as a team owner, like, I'm telling you, like, it's something that I'm like, holy crap, this is a no-brainer. And we do coaching outside, like higher level coaching outside of Sisu. And it is so cool to see people be like, oh, I use this to come and recruit, or I use what you guys are doing. Yeah. And so I just want to put it out there of like, take me out of the equation, take Sisu out of the equation. Like, Justin's the real deal, and you would put your people in front of him because he will show up every effing time. So, and you can probably show the Facebook group from just a few calls of what people are saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that up.
While he's pulling that up, there is a very high standard to be involved in this. There's 5 simple rules to be a part of this. Number 1, be on time, and everyone has been on time. How rare is that? But I have a team meeting today at noon, and everyone will be in their seats ready to go at 11:59 a.m. We hold a standard. We are now in a relationship, and there are standards to be in a relationship with a coach and somebody that's being coached. The second rule is cameras on. No one hides. Everyone is eye contact, taking notes in the chat, doing the homework. The third one is you actually do the work. So on Monday, we have the lesson, we set the tone for the entire week. And then on Friday, we're holding them accountable to improving their business. And then number 4 is everyone participate, engages, comes prepared. And then the 5th rule is make more money than you've ever made. And that's honestly why we're doing this. And that's why these agents, we had 72 on the last call, ready to go, cameras on, fully engaged, is because I can get them to believe that if we go back to the simple principles of sales, you will make more money than you've ever made in this industry.
I love it too, Justin, because I think the external angle is really powerful. So I remember I was talking with Robbie T. He always says it's really hard to be a prophet in your own land, right? Which means like a lot of you have probably had this experience with your team where you've told them something to do something a certain way for like 5 years. And then all of a sudden somebody comes in from outside and they're like, hey, you should do it this way. And then the people on your team are like, oh my gosh, like that is like mind blowing. Like, I can't believe I never thought of that. And you're sitting there like, oh my gosh, like I've told them this times. Right?
I'm having Spring come speak to the team. We were in a meeting on Monday and I'm like, Spring, I need you to talk to our leaders. I need you to talk to our team. And she's like, well, Justin, you can handle it. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. I've been saying it for 3 months. I want you to come in. Yeah. And then we're bringing in Brian, her husband. We bring in outside speakers because there is something to be said when you bring that outside force in. They hear it from a different voice and they see it from a different angle. And sometimes that's all you need to kick some of these people into action.
Well, and I'll say it this way too, real estate's simple, but not easy. And so we all get into it and we think we know what to do. I mean, all of us like know what to do, but it is still some of that mindset component of why are they not taking action? And then it is also breaking some things down. And so it's really designed around like, we're going to show you, and then it's your choice, but we're going to give you that motivation to go. So where he's like taking them back to having them believe they can do it. That's the number one component, because if they don't think they can do it, then their success level goes down substantially. And at the end of the day, we all know this, grit outperforms talent all day long. So it's getting the gritty in there to like get their mind right, but also like, okay, this is from a team owner. I was actually looking at the homework on Facebook. And I loved this because I don't know about you guys that are team owners on here, but we've been struggling even of like, hey, the last couple of years have been bananas. And it's been like just giving out leads on go help and like, oh my gosh, go open the door and write the contract. Well, now it's coming back to like, okay, real world of real estate. Like you have to have a real relationship, have a consultative relationship, provide value. People aren't going to make a decision overnight. And so there's multiple ways you're going to have to get business. Like if we're only reliant upon the leads coming in, then that's going to be a problem. So when I was scrolling through the coaching group, I was like, this is cool. And congratulations if you're on here. There's some of you, the agents that like created a chair, because we teach there's 4 legs of a chair, which meaning there's 4 ways you need to generate business. And one of them actually created the chair and put a leg of how they were going to get their business. But as a team owner, I was like, oh my God, I would love, and we have our agents participating as well. But the fact of it is like, don't just think the business is going to come from the team. Like we are a partnership. Like if you're on a team, you're on a partnership. As an agent, you're a partner, and as a team owner, and we each have our role. And so I really loved seeing like them coming in with like their business plan, their next 90 days, what it's going to do for them, and then their side, how they were going to get the business. I was like, yes, yes, and yes. And then on top of that, Friday's call is all about the accountability. Did you do it? And that at a high level of accountability, I'm like, this is cool. So I just can't be more proud of the fact of like, again, we're putting our own agents through it. I was like, Justin, just put our agents through just in time. He's like, okay. So anyway, I think it's great.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna show just kind of the nuts and bolts of this. So when you're in our coaching programs, they're both included. It's $500 a month. You pay it quarterly. That's all you're committed to. And it's just an add-on to your Sisu subscription. When you do, and that's cheap. Those of you who have done coaching know how cheap that is. When you log in, so you come into your, basically this is your coaching, what do we call it? Platform, LMS, whatever. It's all in here, right? You've got your leadership coaching right here, right? Which has your modules, right? So each module has like an intro. I love this module. Whoops. I guess I got to complete this one.
Sorry, you didn't go through all of it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to take it one at a time, which is cool. So like there's homework assignments here. And then we actually have like a specific Sisu execution guide. Sorry, we couldn't get you a better host for those videos, but the content is great, I promise. And it's all right here in the system, right? If I click here.
I love this. I love this at the highest level for a few different reasons, but the main one is you get the lesson on how to scale your business in that specific area. And then Zac shows you how to integrate it through Sisu. So It's a powerful combination.
Yeah. And Zac, what Zac's showing you is, so you can see on below, we've got homework of complete your compelling vision. And then your invaluable leadership. So that module was all about leadership. And we take you through a leadership activity. And then as you can see, Zac, as you go through, if you want to show them, do your thing, and then show them all the different modules are, because again, it's not just here, this is how you use the software. You have how you use the software. Zac's doing that component of it, but it goes down to leadership, agent attraction, virtual assistants, the culture of productivity and growth. So our standards, how you measure them, how you track them, lead generation. So how we do lead generation, and our team, our director of operations, she's on there, as well as like where you're at. So she's in on these modules as well. But everybody is a different level, right? So we talk about the syntax of who to hire and when to hire. We've got how we run our sales meetings. A lot of you guys have come and shadowed. Our meetings are fire. Our ISA department, our ISA is actually on here on these. It's not just us telling you, like she's the one sharing with you how she does her job, what she's doing. And then how we have our leadership growth plan of how we grow leaders in our organization and how we retain the talent. And then there's a bunch of bonus segments down below too. Also, like you can see, there's a bonus one with our transaction coordinator. We're going to continue to add some stuff. One of the things that has been really apparent to me, but cool as well, is like we've been a Sisu user from day one, and Sisu is consistently coming out with new updates and features that I actually went to Brian and I'm like, I want to do this. He's like, Sisu does that. Like, oh, shoot. So we're working heavily with the Sisu team right now of just making sure we have the most up-to-date everything to share and show with you guys. And then you guys can implement those into your business as well. So we'll keep on adding on bonus tracks and sessions based off of the new updates and upgrades that they're putting in.
Love it. Yeah, it goes back to that question that I've gotten always. It's like, Zac, I know how to use Sisu. I know how to click buttons. How do I use it? How do I integrate this? How do I leverage it? Which is where all of the results are. Knowing how to click buttons in Sisu is table stakes, right? There's so much more strategy to it from there. Mm-hmm. So you've got your leadership coaching, you've got the course, all of the weekly Q&As are right here. So you just join them right from inside of here. You can submit questions beforehand, which is awesome because that gives, if you submit a question, Justin's going to do his whole one sheet paper thing and do all this preparation for it. And you are just going to get a banger answer on it, right? So you just submit those right here. And then there's the agent coaching side. So the agent coaching, the just-in time is 2 calls a week. So you get the Monday training and then you get the Friday accountability, right? These are links that you distribute out to your team, right? So you'll want to create it on the calendar and send it out to your team or somehow get them into there, but the links are all right here for you. And then there's the Facebook group. Both of them have a Facebook group, but this is what Spring was talking about. Like, look how cool all of these agents who took the time to jump on, cameras on, on time. I can imagine Justin might not even let them in if they're late, right?
I haven't got to that tipping point yet, but it's coming in the future. I'm giving them a little slack, but every time we start the meeting, I start the same way. We are not wasting this time. And you now have me as a personal coach. So if you were in the room with me, you would be face to face taking notes and you would be prepared. That's how we're treating this, because that's the way I'm treating it. I will never be late to this. I will always be prepared. And these 90-day sprints that we go on are in the exact sequence of what it takes to crush a 3-month period and hit your financial goals. Everything has been well thought out and the foundation has been laid. And now I am going to hold them accountable to taking their business to the next level. And you guys, it's real. Like, stop sharing your screen, Zac. Let's give them a visual. And this could go bad or this could go good. Let's see what happens here. But like, we just want you to create an amazing culture. So like, this is phones. Everyone, call blitz right there. Call blitz. Everyone say hi. Like, there's nothing fluff about this. We give you the program of what it takes to create an amazing team and an amazing culture.
The only thing I'm bummed out about, Justin, is we didn't have anyone jumping on your mini trampoline out there.
Oh, and I didn't show them the Sisu TVs either, but we have Sisu TVs in every single room.
Yeah. One thing I've been thinking about too, I mean, you scroll through that Facebook page and just all of these agents, like, so engaged. They took the time to like make not just think it out, but make it look good. Right. And make it like visual and enticing, which I think is so cool. One thing I've noticed going along with like the external angle on this, it takes all of the emotion out, right? So when somebody is your boss or who you report to, and I've noticed this in myself and I hate it and I try and change it, but I know when the people that I report to, when my boss tells me something, I immediately am fighting emotion. I'm trying not to get emotional about it. And that's why a few months, or what was it, like a year ago, I actually went to Justin. I said, Justin, will you coach me? Because I know that you can call me on my shit and I won't get emotional. Like, you can tell me, Zac, you're just being an idiot. And because it's external, it just takes all the emotion out. Right. And this is another really cool angle of kind of having, that's why every team I think should have some element of that external accountability, because it's just so powerful. So
I agree. I mean, I look at it.
I love that. You were one of my, oh, go ahead, Spring.
No, you're okay. What I was just saying is I agree. I think that everybody should have that external, and if it's us, great. If it's somebody else, great. Yep. But bringing in somebody who's not you just helps, right? Yes. I'll tell you guys this too, is from a component of how this came about, as to what Zac was saying, is everybody keeps on going to Zac and the Sisu team. But for most of you guys know, I'm married to Brian, and I hear the conversations and I'm like, well, let's just show them. So this actually started a year ago. I don't know if you realize, Zac, a year ago this week, we did our first event. Yeah. And then from there, it was like, cool, this was amazing. How do we go even more? So at that event, we were like, okay, cool. We'll put together a 12-week program. And then from that 12-week program, it extended. And then it's just been like, all right, let's just put it out there, because so many people are like, this is great, and I need help to go to that next level. And I just think that for you as a leader, it's powerful, but also I know when we can leverage for our team, like we do it all the time. If we can leverage somebody else to say the same thing or give them a different message, the same message a different way, or even just have that extra external, it helps. Yep. And to what you were just saying, like, people that in your ecosystem and your world can give you that feedback, but it hits differently when it's not the person right next to you, or that you're talking to every single day or every week. Right. And so this is a good, like, Justin is the real deal in vibes and coming prepared, that like, if I were to trust, I do trust him. He's my partner. Right. but I'm like, if I were to trust somebody to speak to my team and get them pumped up and do their part and understand what's going on, it would be him all day long. So yeah. Yep.
Well, cool. What are we missing? Anyone in the audience, feel free to drop us questions. My team did drop. So there's two ways to kind of investigate this further. If you're like ready to go, like, let's get it going, sisu.co/coaching sign up. There's a little form you fill out. It asks you some questions, just make sure you understand all the basics. And then you're in, right? And you'll be into the coaching. And when's the next call, Justin? Friday accountability, Monday.
It's every Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And there's a reason for that, because they need to be prospecting in the morning. And
Yep.
all of our agents follow an exact sequence in the morning. You're priming, you're getting ready for the day, you're prospecting, and then you're getting trained. That is the law of real estate.
Yep.
I have been ingraining it in all of the agents that I've been training over the last couple of weeks, that if you are not a 7-hour student, a 1-hour student a day in your current business, you are not going to make it.
Yeah.
It is your obligation, it is your duty to be a 1-hour student in your profession every single day. All I'm asking is for 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I will over deliver. My entire team is going through just in time. This is the program that we need right now to perform at a higher level. And the cool part is they're doing the work.
Yeah.
They're setting their goals. They're developing their lead generation plan. They're discovering their why. They're understanding what it takes to perform at a higher level. And here is the most critical component of all of this. They are being held accountable. You are not responsible for your agent's success. When I had a real struggle with this position is when I felt responsible for everyone's success. What I'm actually responsible for is the environment that allows them to be successful. And this is part of it. They need access to some very high quality, serious training. And in the 2 weeks that we've started this, we've already had team owners using Just in Time as a recruiting tool.
That's cool.
Like in 2 weeks into this, they're now value propping it because the team owners are on with their agents. And trust me, if the team owners didn't see value in what I was doing, they would not be sitting in the room with their agents. So we're going for this. I'm committed every Monday and Friday, and we're going to move forward and make some more money.
Yeah.
Love it. So, and then the leadership calls, Q&As, those are on Tuesdays, right?
Yeah, Tuesdays, 9:00. So 8:00 Pacific. So 9:00 Mountain Standard. And if you guys want to sit on one and just see what those are like, it's a Q&A from people from all over the country that have watched. So this is how we designed this. We're going to film the content. So I'm not regurgitating or reiterating the same stuff week over week. And then you come to the call with questions. So you submit the questions beforehand, and then we dive into what we're doing and what other people are doing. And it's just a live Q&A feedback. It was good. Like last Tuesday, the energy was popping. We had a bunch of team owners on there sharing, dropping in the chat what they were doing as well. And it's super high level. And I think that people enjoy it. So if you want to test it out, it's Tuesdays, and we'll get you the link for that as well.
Cool.
You get access to Spring for 1 hour every single week. And we have this call dialed in. The only people that will be on this call are owners of teams and brokerages. So you're going to be surrounded by like-minded people dealing with the same challenges and issues. And at the heart of it is a Q&A. But what I think Spring is alluding to of how on point these calls have been lately, we're having them drop in the chat. What would be your biggest outcome from today? If you could walk away in the next hour with that would help your business or help you as a leader, what would that be? And that's where Spring shines, because she's been in this for 20 years and she's now at a level that very few people in this industry are at. And she knows she can advise on that outcome within that hour, and we can all move forward in our businesses.
Love it. So sisu.co/coaching sign up. You could just get going, be on those calls next week, and it'll be amazing. If you want to talk to somebody, so my team has all the details. They can walk you through the modules specifically. One thing I'd recommend for everybody is go to it's sisu.co/ROI. So I'll drop this in the chat. But sisu.co/ROI, you can talk to our team, some of our most knowledgeable people who can do a systems audit for you and how you're using Sisu, how are your agents using Sisu. does coaching make sense? And it's a great time to do it because it's Q4, right? And in that call, you can get more details on coaching too, and see if it's what you want to move forward with. It's $500. It's cheap. So yeah, go ahead.
And just so everyone's aware, I don't know if you went over this at the beginning of the call, but the investment that you are making is only because you're part of Sisu. To get scale up those 12 modules, that's a $15,000 investment if you're outside of Sisu. For anybody that wants to be in, that's just that separate without anything else. If you want just in time away from Sisu and not even with scale up, it's $1,000 a month. Yep. And so to have that entire coaching program plus the Q&As plus the 2 times access to me every single week for your entire team for $500, I would go for it. Like it would, I would do it. Yeah.
It would literally be cheaper to buy Sisu and get the coaching than to go buy the coaching yourself, which is crazy. So
so don't let that go out to the public.
It's called You're Married to the CEO of the company, and we're like, hey, let's teach people how to really use this software at the highest level and grow and scale their business. So we're excited. Like, I think that there's what's been really great for Justin and I is creating the relationships with all of you and the team owners and our agents in it. It's been really fun so far. And it's helping us level up too, right? Like, everybody's doing things differently. And so we're just creating a community of, let us show you what we're doing and what we're being coached on, and also creating the community that other people are collaborating and asking back and forth. And so it's been really fun. So I see there's some questions too in the chat about listening in on a call or coaching outside of just in time. For those of you guys that are asking the questions, just get with your Sisu rep, or somebody from Sisu will reach out to you, and we'll see what, we'll get you a link to check it out, or see what you're specifically looking for. Cool.
Cool. Well, if anyone else has questions, drop them now. It's recorded. We'll send it out if you want to share with anyone on your team that might be interested. But appreciate you all making the time, jumping on and investing in yourself on a Wednesday. And we'll catch you next time.
Thank you, guys. So happy to be a part of this culture and this network. Thank you guys for having us. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Justin. Thank you, Spring. Appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.